Warren as owing $8,059.86. The front page is a letter that the Development District Board, on the recommendation of, I think, their legal counsel and everybody else, that the board at least approved, asking each community to send this same letter, which would go to the state agency, basically saying we don't have the money to do this. Well, one way to look at it, we don't, because we need every dime we got to do city things, and I don't think we're responsible for this. But the other part of the coin is, you know, we do have $8,000 if we legally had to pay it back within our cash balances. I've talked to a number of people about this. This is what the district board's recommending be done. But I've had voiced to me by city council members and others that this just isn't an appropriate thing to do, because we're really putting out misleading information. So my intention is not to write the letter based upon what I've heard from the council. I think I got the legal authority to do it, but I don't think I should. So, well, there's some legal reasons to do it, but there's also probably better legal reasons, in my opinion, not to. Our county does not intend to send one, I know that.
Ethical reasons is, because we have $8,000, and you look at the first paragraph and the second.
Well, I'm adamantly against paying it. And I'll probably be willing to fight that myself if we have to, as far as trying to make us pay it. But I can understand your position, and I'm not gonna, and I can't disagree with it, about the fact that there is what I would call non-budgeted money that's in our cash balances that could be used. So, that's what I'm gonna do, unless y'all tell me something different. I'm not gonna send a letter. I will keep you informed. This may cost you $8,000, or whatever that amount is, something over $8,000. But I intend to administratively fight it every way I can. It is not right. But anybody got any comments, any other questions about this? Okay, that's for your information. I want you to know what was going on. All right, that brings us to ordinance 951. Now, we'll make sure everybody understands, this is part of this, we've been going through for, I guess, a month or so now, with our doing away with our local fire pension retirement board and the monies that's in it, combining with the LAFI, the statewide fire and law enforcement retirement board, which we're having to do by law because we don't have that many people left on our local fund anymore. Everybody, years ago, that was switched over. New hires went on to the state board. We've still been paying and had some money. Y'all approved everything where we turned it all over to the state, and we, of course, send them the money that's set aside for the retirement. There was a glitch in it that we didn't really know about, and I'm going to ask the city clerk briefly, very briefly, to explain what we ran into. It concerns a widow of a deceased fireman.
Okay, she's been getting funds from the Fireman's Pension Board all these years, for however long he's been dead, I forgot, but, they didn't get married. When they got married, he had already retired for a year. LAFI has a different law about that, and in order for her to get her benefits that she's been getting all these years, we have to adopt this ordinance. If we don't adopt this ordinance, she will not get her benefits
And
anymore.
it's some $800 a month. This was a
It's a
former
big-
fire chief's
a big
widow,
deal.
so that's why the dollar amount is higher. This is appropriate, this is legal, in my opinion, it's the right thing to do, so, if there's any questions, we'll try to answer them, otherwise we need to act on the ordinance.
I move that we place ordinance
Okay, got a motion, again, Henderson, seconded by Toll-Free. Proposed ordinance 951. This is for the first reading. Any question or discussion? All in favor of first reading, show of hands, please. I see 5 in favor, 1 absent. Proposed ordinance 951, an ordinance implementing a remarriage provision for retired paid service firefighters of the Warren Local Fire Pension Fund who marry after retirement. Whereas the city council authorizes the implementation of a remarriage provision for eligible retired paid service firefighters of the Warren Local Fire Pension Fund. This remarriage provision is codified in Arkansas Code annotated 24-11-820B5 and stipulates the retired firefighter and surviving spouse married after retirement were married for at least 5 years and the marriage occurred within 5 years of the retirement date. Provision will ensure an eligible surviving spouse of the retired paid benefit upon the death of the retired paid service firefighter. Now therefore, be it ordained by the City Council of the City of Warren, Arkansas, Section 1, City Council recognizes that the Arkansas Local Police and Fire Retirement System, LOPI, is the administrator of the Warren Local Fire Pension Fund local plan. Therefore, the mayor is hereby authorized to provide to LOPI an approved copy of this ordinance electing this remarriage provision for this local plan to ensure equity for the 2 current paid service beneficiaries of the local plan. The effective date for this remarriage provision shall be August the 1st of 2020. Going back and doing something in the past, in effect here. Section 2, it is the intent of the city council. It is hereby ordained the provisions of this ordinance shall be codified into the Code of Ordinances of Warren, Arkansas. Sections thereof may be renumbered and relettered as necessary to accomplish such intention. Section 3, due to the need to promptly implement this benefit amendment for the local plan, an emergency is hereby declared to exist. This order shall be in full force from and after the date of its passage and approval.
I move that we suspend the rules and place ordinance number 951 on its second reading.
Second.
All right, I got a motion second, again, Alderman Henderson, Alderman Toll-Free, for the second, suspend rules and place on second reading. Question or discussion to the motion? All in favor, show of hands. I see 5 in favor. Proposed ordinance 951, an ordinance implementing a remarriage provision for retired paid service firefighters of the Warren Local Fire Pension Fund who marry after retirement.
I move that we suspend the rules and place ordinance number 951 on its third and final reading.
Second.
A motion second by the same 2 motions made by the same 2 members. The proposed, any question or discussion? This is the third reading. All in favor, show of hands. 5 in favor. Ordinance implementing a remarriage provision for retired paid service firefighters of the Warren Local Fire Pension Fund who marry after retirement.
I move that we adopt ordinance number 951.
Second.
Motion, Councilmember Henderson, second Councilmember Toll-Free to adopt 951. Is there any final question or discussion? This motion will adopt the ordinance.
It's the right thing to do. Yes.
I agree, 100%. All in favor, show of hands. I see 5 in favor, 1 absent, that adopts it.
I move that we adopt the emergency clause.
Second.
And again, motion, same 2 members, move to approve the ordinance, emergency clause. Any question or discussion on that? All in favor, show of hands. I see 5 in favor, 1 absent. Ordinance 951 is adopted and immediately goes into to force. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. All right, next is Alderman recognized to recognize constituents. Alderman Henderson, I think you had told us you might have somebody to want to speak.
I don't think she is here. However, when we get to the sanitation committee, I'll bring up the matter that she.
Okay. Any of the other council members have anybody? I do have 3 that have signed in here, but I was going to get anybody y'all had first. Okay. All right, Miss Virginia Phillips, you number one on the list.
Oh,
So, if you don't mind, you can come around if you want to that way, but just come down here where they hear you good. Okay, you're recognized, Miss Virginia.
Mayor, we really did enjoy you at UEM yesterday. We appreciate that.
Thank you.
You try to come to all the things we have going on in Bradley County. That means a lot.
I enjoy myself, thank you.
Not the business. You know, I've been, what do you say, beating it dead horse for 2 years about the street pay. I had talked to Money, and he had told me, Mr. Money,
Hershberger,
yeah,
he's street foreman.
yeah, he had told me we had to get, where the land is, permission occurred for them to be
Where
able
are
to
you
get the
representing?
land.
Where are you representing?
20 Meadow.
Oh, okay.
Now, Miss Virginia, so everybody's clear, I think, because I'm familiar with what you're talking
Oh,
about.
okay.
There's a need, the neighbors there feel like, and I don't think we disagree with that, there's a need for a drainage ditch to run from the cul-de-sac of Meadow, that subdivision, north to, is it Butler Street?
Yeah.
To Butler Street.
St. James.
Oh, St. James, I'm sorry, okay. This is between residences,
Yeah,
so it's private property.
yeah.
And what, I don't wanna take up your speech,
Go
but what they're asking is that the city take a look at this and secure a right-of-way,
Yeah,
a public right-of-way that a drainage, ditch, for lack of a better way to say it, could be run between two residences to help drain the water off to the north. Now, that's what she's discussing. I think the chairman of the street committee is probably familiar with this too.
yes.
And that's where we are, so you can go ahead and say anything else you
And,
want to.
Money, had also told me in order for our street to be paved, that he was gonna have to dig that up on their land. So I went out and I got their signature and their message. On the left, to whom it may concern, I, Gerald Thompson, Evelyn Thompson, give the street department permission to dig up on any property in order to get our street paved at Melody. Sincerely, Gerald Thomas, Evelyn Thomas, 11/06/2023. Okay? Then on the other side, the property belonged to Rosaline Newton. To whom it may concern, I, Rose Newton, give the street department permission to dig up on my property in order to get our street paved. My address is number 9 Melody Street. Sincerely, Rose Newton, November 6/2023.
So the property owners on
Yeah.
either side of where this would need
Yeah.
to go are
Yeah.
granting their
Permission.
permission. Now, council members, and just not to drag it out, but we would have to survey that and, get a legal survey description, and then in this case, the two property owners, assuming it affects both of them property, would have to grant us that easement.
Yeah.
No cost or anything for the easement. The city would then be legally able to do the work.
Yeah.
And I think what Mr. Hernsberg's telling her, if the ditch is not constructed, it won't do much good to repave the street. That's what he's telling me. So the question is this something, you want the street committee to go into it a little closer? Or do you want us to just give us permission? That's y'all's call.
I think the chair, if you have been working with this,
It's the only option. We've been working with it.
then it should be referred to the administration, in my opinion, to move forward, with it. You're gonna definitely have to go through the easements and all of that that
Yes,
you
ma'am.
discussed.
We'll have to get a
Yeah.
survey
Yeah.
done to have a legal description.
Right.
And then that will be a permanent city right of way to
And
keep
there's-
that ditch there.
And their statements are good, but they're gonna actually have to sign off on something to make it all legal.
Okay.
Yeah, but the city would take care of all that.
Instead of running through community land and
Yes.
it for.
Yeah. Okay.
So I move forward, I make a motion that, the city of Warren move forward with the issue, stated. Second.
All right, I got, Councilmember Henderson with the motion and a second by Councilmember Burks Frazier. Is there any other discussion from the council? I think y'all pretty well understand what we're talking about here. Try to give them some relief and some help over there.
Yeah, you get rid of me.
Oh, no, keep coming.
Oh, keep coming.
Yeah, keep coming. Back to input.
I don't know
Right now,
about that.
Miss Virginia, this does not get your street paved yet. They'll have to
I
come back to
know,
the
I know,
council.
they don't have to come out of that.
But
I
anyway,
understand.
okay. Any other question or discussion? All in favor, show of hands. I see 5 in favor. We'll get to work on
And
that.
also, this is not gonna happen overnight.
Yes, I understand that. I've
Okay.
waited 2 years.
But it's the legwork.
Thank you, Miss Virginia.
All right, thank you, I was just.
Okay, we got, I believe is it Alma Velez? Am I saying that correct?
That is perfect, yes.
Yes.
Together.
Come ahead, or if there's more than one of you, that's fine, just come around. I believe this is Cassidy Dickens also, correct? And this concerns speed bumps, I believe, so we both, either one of you, go ahead.
And it's Chastity.
Chastity, I know that, I'm sorry.
It's alright. So I live down Oak Street. She also lives down Oak Street. We've had for the last, I don't know, maybe 6 to a year, we've had animals die. There's too many people speeding down our road. My husband had come out one Friday night, or one Friday evening, and found our kitten laying in the middle of the road. Both the legs were broken, and we had to put them down. They've had animals, they just don't care down our road. And we would like to have 3 speed bumps put down our road, if possible. I have a petition here for everybody down our road, that signed it, put their names and their numbers and their addresses.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
My name is Alma, and I'm here also because, we have grandchildren, they have children, there's children that play out there a lot. And we had to build our fence to keep our grandchildren, safe because of that. Their ball goes over they start from Pine Street on and they just go.
They just
really
fly.
through there. My husband's always been out there like, slow down, screaming at them to stop driving so fast. And he has to do that constantly. And some people just don't care, they go even faster. And so it's very hard to see that because there's a lot of families living in our street, a lot of
Yes.
children playing. And we're really concerned for those children. And we've called the police several times. They've been out there. I'm sure they have it documented and, because we call them all the time. We have cameras in our home to also try to see who are the ones that come out there so fast. So, we have all this together and like I said, our children are the most that we really need to protect down our street.
Now, you said you get every residence on the street.
I did not get 2 of them because they did not answer the question.
Okay.
But there's probably about 4, I think there's probably about 3 or 4 empty houses down our road, so. But
Understand.
those ones we didn't get, so.
It's council's call, that's usually what they ask, is you get at least everybody you can to
Yes.
sign a petition, and I'll tell you why. Because we've done this many times, I'm not opposed to it, don't
Yes.
take what I'm saying wrong. But, about as soon as we put them up, folks start complaining about it, including sometimes people that live on the street.
Yeah, yeah,
And,
we've had
but
quite a
that's-
few people say that they want them done because of the children,
Okay.
so.
I move that we refer it to the street committee to bring
Second.
back a recommendation to the council.
Second.
Okay? All right, we got a motion and a second, Alderman Henderson, Alderman Colbrey. to refer this to the street committee, which would then make a recommendation to the full council. Any question or discussion on that motion? All in favor, show of hands. I see 5 in favor. Thank you.
I suggest you leave your petition.
Yeah, if you would leave that
Yes,
with
ma'am.
us, or.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you, I appreciate
Thank
y'all
y'all
so
for
much.
coming. Thank y'all for coming. All right, that's everybody I had, signed in to speak, so. Okay, brings us to administrative standing committee reports. Police Chief Sean Hildreth. I know you're out there, come on down. All right, Chief, you got a monthly report, and we're gonna have a real little quick executive session, if the council will allow us to, but go ahead.
Good evening. As normal, you guys have my monthly report, it pretty much shows the statistics of work of the police department for the month of October. Not too much has changed, we're still seeking, going in for a couple of officers, taking applications for our positions right now. All our equipment is operational, and, all vehicles that we purchased this year are online now, including us being used.
Chief, what's our total force right now of certified officers? We have 11 on the job. And then we have
So it's taken 15.
slated for, we're budgeted for 15, we have 11. And I'm gonna make a free advertisement here, we are constantly looking for people that are interested to be police officers. And qualified, and willing to go to school if necessary. We need them. We're not the only place in Arkansas, but we need them.
And we have competition.
Yes, we do.
Serious competition
Yes, we
with,
do.
excellent benefits.
Yes. Okay. Any questions for the chief? All right. Can we get a brief executive session, and I think we can just step back here in the building.
Can I commend the chief on?
Oh, yes.
This morning at the office that I work, there was a dog that had attacked a young person. And when I drove up, staff ran out and go, don't get out of your car, don't get out of your car. I want to thank the police department for coming out and taking care of the situation. It was really serious. It was a young person going to school, and if some of the staff had not helped that person, it could have been bad.
You mind telling me if it was a stray dog or a locally owned
I
animal, or do
don't
we
know, I
even
know
know?
it in my office a lot.
I didn't ask you questions. Do you know, chief?
Mr. Orton said that dog can't open my door.
I can find out for you.
Well, the reason, again, I'm saying this to the public, everybody listening, dogs are not allowed to run free in the Warren city limits. It is a violation. That don't stop it from happening, and we're constantly trying to catch them. Of course, anybody that owns them, and we can prove they own them, they're subject to being fined, and we will issue tickets. Sometimes they're stray animals, sometimes I know they break out of pens, all kinds of things. But owners are responsible. Keep your animals put up and properly cared for. So I just wanna say that since it was brought up, thank you. All right, can I get a motion for quick executive session?
I move that the city council move into executive session. Second.
All right, Mosley's swift tonight, so. Personnel issue. All right, any question, discussion? All in favor, show of hands. 5 in favor. Mr. Johnson, you think we can get back here into your office and y'all just come back there? Folks, we'll be right back, hopefully.